Hello people, myself Kaushik. Today I'm going to talk about what I have experienced from past 6 months. I was weighing 70 kgs and now I am weighing 59 kgs. I dropped 11 kgs in 6 months. So many of my friends were asking me what I was following. There are so many videos about it online, but what I have followed I have listed over here. So basically what I understood was, before that also I was doing jogging and all, but I was not dropping my weight, like I was only dropping for 2 kgs or 3 kgs. After that, if I stop it, then I was gaining weight. So I just wanted to understand what is the real science in the body, what's happening in the body. So what I understood was, whenever you take any food, okay, so the whole process will happen, but basically we'll be having pancreas which releases insulin. Okay, insulin is like a key where all the food which you have taken converts into glucose. It has to go into cells. So in order to put the glucose in the cell, insulin plays as a key. So insulin has to get released and then it has to open the cell. Then the glucose will go and sit in the cell. So this is what the basic thing. If you want to know more about it, there are so many videos or YouTube, you can watch them. So basic thing is, insulin will help you to put glucose in the cells. Now, so basically whenever you want to go for a weight loss, if insulin is released in your body, whenever insulin releases, it stops fat burning. So the main point is, whenever insulin is there in your body, then fat loss will be stopped. Okay, so that is why first thing is you need to drop your insulin levels in the body, which means don't eat frequently. Don't eat frequently. If you eat frequently, insulin release will be there always and it will stop your weight loss. So first point what I observed was that. And this is one point, like if you take carbohydrates, the insulin release will be more. Then next is protein. Okay, so if you take protein, the insulin release will be less when compared to carbohydrate. And fat, if you take good fat, then the insulin release will be less. Okay, we have so much of misconception over fat, because if you take fat, people tell that you become more fat. It's wrong. Okay, so the culprit is carbohydrates. Because of intake of more carbohydrate only, people are getting diabetes, people are getting blood pressures, people are getting cholesterol and all. So first we need to stop the carbohydrates as much as possible. So the insulin release of carbohydrate, protein and fat is like this. Okay, now, so what major change I have done in my plate is, I have stopped taking white rice. Why? Because it is just carbohydrate. It doesn't have any fiber or anything. Okay, so I have stopped taking white rice, and then I have stopped taking wheat. Why? Because wheat has gluten in it. What gluten does, it stops, it affects your pancreas. Okay, when it affects your pancreas, the insulin release will be abnormal, and that affects, that leads you diabetes 1. Okay, so diabetes 1 and diabetes 2 will be there. That is altogether different topic. So wheat will affect your pancreas, which in turn affects your insulin. Okay, then sugar. Okay, sugar is the culprit again. Sugar, if you take more sugar, sugar and white rice, carbohydrate and white rice will release more insulin, and they are the main culprits for diabetes and blood pressure and cholesterol. We should stop sugar. I also stopped sugar. In place of sugar, I started taking Jaggery, that too palm Jaggery, and then milk. So many of you will object this milk. Many of you know that milk is the source of calcium, but it is very less. Instead of milk, go for sesame seeds, which has more calcium than milk. Okay, milk, if you take more milk, it affects your hormonal imbalance. Mostly women will face this. So about this again, if you go to internet, more data is there, right? And foods with shelf life. So don't take foods which has shelf life. Okay, they have preservatives, they have chemicals. If you avoid them, then you'll be very good. Your body will get rejuvenated. So these are the main things which I have stopped taking in my diet. Okay, white rice I hardly take, like weekly once I take. On Sundays I'll take, otherwise that also I avoid. So then what am I taking in my food? I started taking millets. There are so many types of millets. Okay, including ragi, jawar, everything you can take. So I started taking millets, each millet in a day. I change them over a week. One day, one millet I take. What is the advantage of millets? It has carbs, but it is associated with fiber. Whenever it is associated with fiber, then the glucose will get released in a slower manner. So whenever the glucose gets released in a slower manner, then that is good food for you. High glycemic index and low glycemic index foods. So, and start increasing protein. Okay, instead of carbohydrates, go for the fiber and protein. Your food consists of more fiber and more protein, and hence we have to take more fruits, more vegetables, raw vegetables and leafy vegetables, which will increase your fiber content and protein content as well, which has carbohydrates but associated with fiber and protein, which is good combination for your body. And then, as I already mentioned, I stopped taking sugar. I don't take sugar at all. From past 6 months, I didn't touch at all. Okay, I am taking palm jaggery, which is very good for you, right? You can go for jaggery also, but the black one, not with the white one. White one, again, it has chemicals in it. And I always recommend to go for sesame seeds. You all know sesame seeds, black and white. So start taking sesame laddus, which are made of palm jaggery. Okay, sesame laddus and groundnut laddus, which increases your iron and calcium, which plays an important role to produce good red blood cells and white blood cells. Okay, and then exercise. Well, okay, I usually go for half an hour to 1 hour exercise. I go for a jog. People who can't jog go for a walk for 45 minutes or 1 hour, which helps you in rejuvenating your body. So it is always said 80% is food and 20% is exercise. So you change your food habits, then you see always change in your body. And there are two terms which are seen. One is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is nothing but you give 14 hours rest to your body. Like you take food before 7 o'clock in the evening, and then in the morning if you take after 9, okay, body will get some time to get repaired. Okay, there are so many proteins and fats which are there in the body, which are accumulated in the cells, that has to go out. Okay, so in order to do that, we should encourage intermittent fasting. It is there in our culture. Like Fridays people don't eat, or Thursdays in the nights they stop eating. This is all intermittent fasting only. So intermittent fasting will encourage autophagy. Autophagy is nothing but the dead cells will be there in your body. The dead cells will be eaten by the healthy cells. Our dead cells and dead waste proteins, everything will combine and will generate new cells. So autophagy is very important. Intermittent fasting will generate autophagy. If you have more doubts, you can always go online and you can look about intermittent fasting and autophagy. So I followed this and I have seen so much improvement in my body and my daily routine. So I think this helped so many people. Thank you.